It's just about midnight, and yeah, I'm going out to get some food. I think I'm gonna try to find some pizza or something. My cravings subsided, as this week was going on. It got better, but the end of it, like, I would love some hot food. I would love something that's got bread in it. Yeah, now that I'm like so close to the end now, those cravings are coming back. And yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go out, gonna find some food. I'm gonna wait until midnight, just so we're doing it legit, and then I'm going to eat that. Oh god. This is like a deep dish pizza with vegetables, delicious vegetables, and this is like a fresh mozzarella pizza. It's all like, it's been around for a while. It's the end of the day. They're just like closing up now, cleaning up, but I don't care. Also got a Diet Coke. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's good. It's so good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Salt. I miss salt. I actually feel my eyes like watering a little bit, like I'm gonna cry. I'm so happy. And it's not even really good pizza. Like, I know that objectively it's not. I've had pizza here before, but right now, this is like heaven. Oh yeah. I better watch out so I don't get demonetized.
So I want to just take a moment to give a formal apology to everybody out there for the state of my hair. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm sorry. I think I need to get a haircut today. So I wasn't intending to do a aftermath kind of video or anything, but I am noticing like a few things adjusting back. I ate pizza last night and went to bed. I was up like late. I was up until like maybe like 4 in the morning or something, and I think that's because of the caffeine in the Diet Coke. Maybe because I just like ate like a whole ton of carbs also, and my body was just like, okay, well, here's some energy, which totally makes sense. That's totally my doing. I think that may have happened even if I wasn't doing this diet. I feel pretty good. I do not want to eat for like the rest of my life right now because of all that pizza that I ate, and I think that is partially because of the adjustment, but could be wrong. But I think it is. I think just like it's very heavy on my system after taking a week-long break of eating nothing but light things. And I just made a cup of coffee, which amazingly, like, my craving for this coffee is not nearly as much as it normally would be. Usually, like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, the first thing that I say is like, coffee, and I like go over and I make a cup of coffee. And yeah, so I didn't really feel the urge to drink this, but I felt like this is what I usually do. I want to see what it's like to get back into it. But the urge to drink this coffee is not huge. So I think if you have a coffee addiction or something like I did, then taking a week off, just like forcing yourself not to drink any caffeine, and it'll help. Yeah, after like the third day, it wasn't like killing me. And now I'm like not guzzling that down, which if I were to know that on my like first day doing this, I'd be very surprised because I was like crawling at the walls for coffee when I first started doing this. And yeah, that's fun. I'm addicted to caffeine. That's something that I'm learning here. I think I'm okay with that. I enjoy coffee and I enjoy tea. I like the varieties out there and all of that. If I've learned a few things from this past week, I was drinking a lot of coffee. I was drinking like, not like as much as some people, but like maybe like 2 cups a day, 3 cups a day maybe. And that's not good. There's other ways to get energy, I think, that are a lot better. So for me, I think like 1 cup of coffee is where I'm going to leave it, and I don't want to get that addiction to be as strong as it was. Tea, though, I think I don't know. I like tea, and tea's supposed to be good for you, right? Maybe I'll cut down on tea too. I don't know. I think that I don't know. I don't want to be like crazy addicted to things. That doesn't seem like a good thing to do. But I also don't want to cut things out of my life entirely that I enjoy. Also, it doesn't taste that strong. I feel maybe it's just like how I made it, or maybe my taste buds are all like shot out from eating papaya. But I feel like I should have made this like twice as strong as I did. I don't know. I don't know why, but it actually tastes a lot weaker than it normally would. Still good though. Oh, and I forgot yesterday in my conclusion to add another pro to being fruitarian, and how do I say this in a way that will give it the dignity and class that it deserves? It is good for your digestion. For anyone who might have like trouble like in that department, it's pretty extreme to like go and like get like devices in order to solve that. I think that it might be your diet. I don't know. It might be some clinical thing also. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Not a medical expert here by any means, but I would recommend trying it because like I noticed a difference. Like, oh my god, because I think fruit has a lot of water in it. It has a lot of fiber in it. So I mean, do the math. Like that is going to make some magic happen. I do see a lot of pluses with fruitarianism. I worry that like yesterday I was being a little too harsh or be interpreted that way. But there are pros to it for sure. It just doesn't really work with the lifestyle that I have and like the things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, I don't want to like crap all over fruitarianism, especially after being on like a fruitarian diet for a week. I think there are some serious benefits to it. But yeah, it just didn't really work for me. So I wanted to answer some of the questions that people have been giving me on YouTube. Before I jump into that, though, I have to show you guys something. Look what came in the mail. Yeah. These are the... I can't fit it all in the shot. Wait. No, can't. I need to get a wider lens. These are the new Weird Fruit Explorer shirts. This is a mandrake root, and this is actually an image from the 1400s. I think it was 1490. That's what people thought that mandrake roots were. That actually, like, through being spread around so much, like, rumors ended up, like, morphing the root into, like, actually looking like a person. People thought was that if you pull the mandrake root out from the ground, the root would scream and kill you. So people would devise all sorts of like crazy methods to get the roots out without being harmed. Really interesting stuff. I would recommend like doing a Google search on some of the mythology because it's like super bizarre. And it has a fruit, so that's why I chose this image for the shirts. So if you are interested in one of the shirts, I'll put a link below about that, but I'm just happy about it. I've gotten a lot of questions of people asking what were the first things that I ate, and you saw that. It was pizza and a Diet Coke, and oh my god, so good. After that was coffee, and toast. And then I just resumed eating like normal things. There was not, I was expecting to have like a whole week of just like binging and blah, blah, blah. But after like having that first taste of pizza and my first coffee, I just like went back to like how it normally was for me. I'm reading from my computer over here, so if you're wondering why I'm showing you the side of my head, this is why. Okay, Amy says, what was your favorite Fruitarian meal that you had during the week? And did you try a combination of foods like the date cocoa bean that you wouldn't have thought about before, but will definitely be making again? Yeah, the date and cocoa bean thing I have done since the Fruitarian week ended. That's like kind of like a snacky thing I'll just kind of like grab now, which I never did before. But I think like my favorite thing that I had during the week was not that, because that's just like a snack, but like as like a meal, I would say probably the zucchini noodles, which is surprising to me because I don't really like zucchini. I like that because it felt like a meal. You know, it felt like actual, like, this is a dish that I, prepared. It's not just like cut up fruit or blended fruit or raw fruit in my hand. It's like actually prepared. It felt like I was like, there, you have to eat it with a fork. It felt like I was eating something other than fruit, even though it's just fruit. Vnukatzors, I don't know how to say that, says, how did you come up with the smoothie recipes? Any tips on making a good combination? I kind of just like threw whatever I had in there. I went to the store, bought berries that I liked and fruit that I liked, and I just like threw it in there. A banana makes it creamier. That's always good. The jalapeno thing, that was a good idea, especially if you're going fruitarian and you need like a little kick. I think that peppers can be utilized in sweet things really well. No Face 69. Oh boy, do I have a lot of questions. Do you think this diet would be viable still nutritionally if you didn't take supplements every day? I mean, I take the supplements every day regardless of Fruitarianism. I don't know. I think there's some controversy about it. I've been having people online say, like, supplements don't do anything. But, like, I really notice a difference when I take those ones because they're, like, full of B vitamins. I'm kind of glad that I took supplements just so, like, I knew my energy levels would at least be okay. I don't know what it would be like without. Although, actually, on my 5th day, I forgot to take my supplement. I forgot to actually mention it in the video. That's how much I forgot. I took a supplement every single day except for day 5. And if you remember from day 5, it's basically the same as any other. So I didn't really notice a huge difference from not taking it. Okay, No Face 69 asked me a lot of questions, but let me see if I'll answer one of the other ones that he put in here, or she, or they. Do you think this diet could be possible in a restaurant setting? Like a full entire restaurant devoted to Fruitarianism, I think would be a very bad business model. But like in a raw food place that has a separate section for Fruitarians would be kind of nice. I mean, I would have gone to that for this week, but Fruitarians make up such a very, very small percentage of the population. So I don't think that there would be a demand to have a restaurant that did this. There are things that you can make with only raw fruit. Like you can make a lot of like soups and stuff. You can make like a gazpacho. You can make guacamole. You could probably have like some sort of raw fruit-based, like dehydrated, crushed up bread sort of thing, I guess. I think you could probably make some stuff if you put like a lot of effort into it that someone would want to buy. Yeah, why not? I think that would work. But it would be a terrible idea if you want to make money. So Giggs asks, why did you decide to go raw and no salt? That's what a lot of Fruitarians do. A lot of Fruitarians go raw. I think that's kind of like the definition of your generic definition of Fruitarian is raw, or like primarily raw. And the no salt thing, I think, is probably more of like a matter of debate on like what kind of Fruitarian you want to be. I saw some blog posts and stuff like that, like, I cut salt out of my diet and now I don't feel poisoned anymore. The poisons of salt. And I mean, I don't I don't agree with that. I think you need at least a little bit of salt. Salt's in your body. You know, you need to, it helps you rehydrate, right? I mean, that's what I learned in school. I mean, it might be all wrong. Maybe like salt is like the devil, but I think it's fine. I think you need some small amounts of salt. You don't want to like overdo it, but yeah, in Fruitarianism, though, a lot of people don't have salt at all. They cut it out. Harry Balbastic, I love these names. Harry Balbastic says, how has your body been affected after changing your diet from fruit to normal food? Not much of a big change. You know, I mentioned that my digestion was like good with the Fruitarianism, and I mean that went back to normal. My skin doesn't feel like clean anymore, so that went back to normal. I feel overall happier just like psychologically that I can go out and just like do whatever and eat whatever and explore and try new things. Like that, like the mental side is like way up there. Body side, it's not really that noticeable. Paula Shackle says, how was your energy levels during the experiment and how was your sleep? My energy was fine, but I lost like motivation. You know, just like not having the things that I want just kind of like made me like, I don't know, like a little lugubrious. Just like blah, like why bother? I can't have bread. Food is an exciting part of your day. Like what am I gonna eat? Like that's gone. You know, like instead it's replaced with something that I was not thrilled to eat. So because of that, I think like mentally I was just like a little bit down, but like physically I feel like my energy was fine. And how was my sleep? Normal. Luke asks, I would love to see a video on your reasoning for being vegetarian. Basically, I was raised vegetarian. You know, like, meat is not food to me. I haven't eaten meat since I was like 4. And I mean, I vaguely have a memory of eating like a slice of bologna and liking it. Now, meat just has no appeal to me. I don't like the smell of it. It doesn't look appealing to me. If someone else is eating it, I'm like, I have no desire to eat it because I never really have. And in the rare occasions where I have eaten something that had like maybe some sort of meat product in it and I didn't realize it, like chicken stock or fish oil or something, I feel like trash afterwards. I feel like total garbage anytime that I eat something that has meat in it. I think I just do not have the proper enzymes anymore. I mean, all the other stuff, like, you know, environmental and ethical and like all of that, yeah, does play a factor as well. Not super comfortable with any of that. But the main reason I think is just like it does not have any appeal. So I don't want it, and I don't want to get sick. Grace Y asks, did you get really tired of sweet things real fast? Yes, on day 1, I was tired of sweet things like after like my first meal. Like if you have like a sweet tooth, Fruitarianism would be probably pretty good for you. Me, I don't. Like I like sweet things, but like in moderation. Like I'll have like a small sweet after I eat something savory, but like I can't subsist on like a whole meal of just sweet stuff all the time. Renee Bettenhausen asks if I got headaches after not having coffee. No, actually I didn't, because before I started the Fruitarian week, I did wean myself off coffee. So I used to drink 2 cups a day or more. So for like a week, I brought myself down to 1 cup a day, and then for like maybe like 3 days, I switched to tea in the morning, and then I went full Fruitarian. So I think because I did it in steps going down, it wasn't quite as shocking. Relay, or is it Rayleigh? I don't know how to say it. Or is it Relay? Or Rayleigh? 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 Let me know. How much weight did you lose, you know, before you shoved something in your face that wasn't a fruit or a vegetable? I have no idea. I probably should have measured myself, should have like weighed myself before doing this diet, but I didn't. I didn't notice any difference. I'm sure I was getting less calories than, you know, my typical diet of bread and cheese, but like, it wasn't like that noticeable. Nobody like gasped in shock when they saw me. If you take this diet and you are like average weight or like overweight, you will lose weight. I mean, I don't doubt that. For me though, like, I didn't notice anything. JJ Bubbaloo asks, what was your inspiration for the Fruitarian stuff? I've always been kind of intrigued by the Fruitarians because it's something that I get kind of like exposed to just from being like this sort of channel where I'm talking about fruit. Me being like a total outside party where I really was not for or against Fruitarianism, where I'm like, I don't care, like, be Fruitarian. I'm not going to. I like bread too much. Like, I felt like I was in a position where I could actually look at it with an unbiased look. So that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to kind of like see like what is the fuss about? Is there something to this if you are not if mentally you're not there? Like if you were just like already kind of like looking at it just objectively, is there something there? And from this week, I think I did come to a pretty good conclusion on that. I had a lot of people ask me questions like, why didn't you have coffee? You can drink coffee. The entire week, people were saying that. Coffee's cooked. It's roasted. I was doing a raw fruitarian diet. Couldn't do it. I mean, theoretically, I could take raw coffee and, like, eat it. I guess. I could take dry coffee beans, like green coffee beans, and chew them. Maybe, like, put them in the sun and make, like, a sun tea. I think that's okay, but I don't got time for that. A few other people asked me for a lot of questions about my cat. Happy to talk about my cat. So I think this is going to be the last question today. So we'll answer this question together. This is Vostok. She is 3 years old. Although she is permanently tiny, she's got 2 different colored eyes. And she is the most adorable little thing. Very, very annoying. Every time I edit anything, she likes to climb up and attack my hand while I'm using my mouse and like walk on my keys. She just gets never tired of attention. I got her from an adoption agency. It was like 2 women who just like had a bunch of cats in their apartment in Manhattan, and they like had them just like all like walking around, and dogs too. They were like out of their cages like everywhere, and most of them were fine, but this one was not okay. Like she was hiding in a little cat tree. I just like realized like this cat is never gonna get adopted, because like the moment I like walked up to her, she was just like petrified, and she like ran away from me and like would not be anywhere near me. So I'm like, well, this is a gamble, because this cat is probably gonna be like a scared cat that just like lives under the bed all the time. She's never gonna want to interact with me. But I think it turns out it was just she was just overwhelmed from all the other animals that were in that place. So when I took her out, she was scared for like a few days, but then like she just like clicked with me, and now she just will not leave me alone. I've had some people say Vostok is such an ugly name for a little girl cat, and maybe it is. I don't know. I guess it's not the prettiest sounding name, but I like it because it's a very like powerful word. It is the name of the first space shuttle to be launched into space. The first manned space shuttle to be launched into space. And it's also the name of the coldest place on Earth, which is in Antarctica. So there's like a lot of interesting meaning behind the name. And I don't like to name cats like, oh, this is Sprinkles or something. I like names for my cats to have a lot of depth to them. Lethean's name was like that as well. It meant, I got that from Greek mythology. So, yep, that's Vostok, and that is pretty much all I have to say about my week on being a fruitarian. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.